The hardest thing about dating Tahlia Paris is what?
I don't know. I would just say the hardest thing is I really like honesty. And a lot of these guys in LA, Vegas, and honestly, LA and Vegas, it's the same people. Like if you're in Vegas, if you live in Vegas, you're in LA constantly. If you're in LA, you're in Vegas constantly. Like you're back and forth, girls, guys, whatever it is. I've dated people from both, and just honesty is so important to me. And also like I hate when someone tells me like, oh, like I'm gonna call you like when I get home tonight or whatever it is, and then they don't do it. Yeah, like that would piss me off so bad, because it's like whether they're out with like their friends or whatever it is, it's like, okay, just like call me when you get home so I know that you're home, and then they don't do it. Right. So like that's like the number one thing for me is just like honesty and coming through like with your word, like being honest and pulling through.
I've said this before. It's not the cheating; it's the lying.
Yeah, it's the lying for sure. It's the if lying. You cheat, like then tell me. Like it's much more than just. I don't know. It's just being honest.
Have you ever been in an open relationship?
No, I never have. Honestly, as much as I would like to think I could be in one, especially after like going to Jamaica and stuff and seeing all the swingers and stuff. And they are so happy, by the way. Like these couples that are like married, like they've been married for like 30 years and they have like kids and they're all off in college and they're married and happy. And they're just like swingers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe this is like the key to like a happy relationship is being open, being a swinger. But I get pretty jealous. And I'm not insecure, but in relationships sometimes, like I like to be reassured. Like you are the only girl I'm talking to, whatever. Like I like to be reassured. So I don't know. I don't think I could be in an open relationship.
Has someone try to get you into one?
No.
Okay.
No.
So describe the feel. You just don't feel like, you understand it's an issue for me personally. You can obviously understand why.
Yeah.
I host Babes in Toyland, or I host a bikini competition. Whoever I'm dating, they're either really comfortable with it because they like girls, or they're not comfortable with it at all because they just don't like the situation. And all my female friends are totally fine with it because we're not dating. Yeah. You understand? So it's easy for me to be friends, but you just would not be able to do that at all.
I think someone like you, I would just have to be involved. Like it would have to be like, okay, like I know, like, and I would have to trust you, obviously, which I know trust is earned. But I think at first, yeah. And especially if I wasn't like involved in the same scene, like say like I wasn't a model, I wasn't going to these events, it would be very difficult for me to date somebody like you.
Oh, great.
But because I am into it and I know all the same people and stuff, it's like, okay, like first of all, if he does something, I'm going to hear about it. So like, we're all like, you know.
Isn't that the craziest part? Because we're so in that scene, I know about my friends cheating on each other, and
that's what I love about Vegas and LA too. Is it's like if you're dating someone, like you might not hear about it today or tomorrow if they're cheating on you, but like you're gonna hear about it. Like,
bruh.
It's so small. It's all the same people. It's you're gonna hear about it.
So the hardest part about dating you would be what?
The hardest part, and also I would just say is being secure. The hardest part. My ex-boyfriend it's been like 4 or 5 years, but one of the main things why he broke up with me was because I won Cyber Girl of the Year. And he actually told me, he's like, if you win Cyber Girl of the Year, he's like, I'm going to break up with you. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's funny because when we first started dating, he thought it was the coolest thing. Like I had just gotten my first shoot with Playboy. We had just started dating. I'm like, oh, I have a shoot with Playboy. And he's like, oh my gosh, like my girlfriend, like she's so hot. And now she's going to be a Playboy model and it's so cool. And then as time went on, he started to get less and less secure. Yeah. And I don't know why, but just something hit him and he was very insecure. And then it drove me crazy. And I'm like, you need to like, let me kind of do my own thing. I need to go to these events.
So let me ask you something. The two of you had not been with anyone else.
No.
Right? Okay. And you were comfortable with that rule and he was comfortable with that rule until he wasn't, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So and let me ask you something. You'd be comfortable with that also, right? If your man did something where he was around a lot of women, as long as he was not having sexual intercourse with the other women, you'd be fine with it, right? Or some sort of deep emotional relationship also, right?
Yeah, no, as long as you're just being respectful to me, you know, like even like little things, like if you're like out like flirting and stuff, because it's just like, then it would look bad on me. And it's like, oh, isn't that Tahlia Paris's boyfriend like flirting with that girl over there? Like, it's just like a respect thing.
And you had the respect thing for him, even though you won Cyber Girl of the Year. Did he feel like you did something disrespectful? Because this is always a question for me. To me, it's like, if I'm dating a model, because I've dated, believe it or not, I've dated models who go to Greece, they shoot nude or implied or whatever, then they come back and we're still dating. And I know a lot of guys who would never fucking allow that in a million years. I have driven girls that I've dated to photo shoots where they're going to shoot nude. And I'm like, all right, babe, have a good time. Hope everything goes well. Yeah. And I talk to my guy friends about it and they're like, no fucking way I would ever do what you just did, right? And it was like, she's not sleeping with anybody else, so I don't care. Is that the rule you had with him?
Yeah.
And that wasn't good enough.
No, yeah, it wasn't good enough. And I was very loyal to him. Like I remember I had just turned 21 when we were still dating. Like I came to Vegas and even like I was out and about, of course.
I remember all of this now. I remember all of this.
Yeah. So I was out partying and stuff because, I was legally 21. So I was able to use my real ID instead of my fake ID. But I was very loyal to him. I would never cheat on anyone because to me, it's just like, then don't be with that person. Like literally break up with them and then go hook up with whoever else or do whatever else. I've never understood cheating, honestly. So I was very loyal to him. But honestly, the fact that he was so insecure, it almost drove me to like want to. Like it made me kind of like hate him. I'm like, I don't want to be with you anymore. Like I want to go break up with you and do something else because you're like making me crazy.